Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a quick wrap up for Genrethon. I actually did really well during Genrethon. I wasn't initially planning to participate in Genrethon because it overlapped with TBR Takedown, and I was doing that and vlogging, and I also knew that this was going to be kind of a hectic week, but I ended up deciding to participate anyways because I liked the way that it was set up, and I'm glad I did because I read a couple things that I don't think I normally would have read, so that was awesome. Again, thank you ladies for creating Genrethon. It was fantastic and you were lovely. Alright, so the first thing that I read was The Dressmaker, and this fell into the genre of historical fiction, which is not out of my comfort zone, but this was the audiobook that I was already reading, so I might as well have gone ahead and finished it. Thoughts on this are, it was just okay, and honestly it had one of the worst love triangles I have ever experienced in a book. It was terrible. Like, the love story was terrible. This is basically a seamstress who gets on the Titanic at the last minute, and she is the secretary for Lady Duff Gordon, and so it's all about sort of who Lady Duff Gordon was, and then on top of that just sort of following her through the aftermath of the Titanic. And she was heavily vilified in like the papers and in public opinion, so this is a lot about that. And I found Lady Duff Gordon to be unlikable. I found Tess, the main character, to just sort of be somebody I couldn't relate to. She just was really wishy-washy, but also like she'd be wishy-washy, and then all of a sudden she'd have like these moments where she was just like, yes, I'm gonna do that, and it was just sort of unrealistic. And then the love triangle, it was terrible. That's all I'm gonna say, because part of what I would say about it has a spoiler in it, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody who might want to read it. I read it because Titanic and I just was in the mood, but definitely not that great. Then after that I picked up another audiobook, which was Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. This was my first Agatha Christie, and this was fantastic. I got super into this and listened to it in almost just one day, but definitely over 2 days, very quickly, and I didn't want to stop listening to it because I wanted to know what was happening, and I wanted to know the whodunit, and I was super surprised. I sort of kind of maybe thought that, not to the extent that it happened, but I had started to sort of piece it together near the end, but then I was like, no, that's not possible, and I kind of brushed it off, and then it happened at the end, and I was like, holy crap. So I just really liked this one, and all the characters were really interesting, and it has made me want to pick up more Agatha Christie, and I've gotten a few recommendations, so I'll definitely picking up at least 1 or 2 more this year. If you have other recommendations, then definitely leave them in the comments, because I'm totally open to that. So then the next book that I picked up was a standard for me. Oh, and then of course Agatha Christie falls under mystery, which is a genre that is a little outside of my comfort zone. Like, it's not something that I pick up very often. But this one is middle grade, I don't know, science fiction, I guess. But this is the 4th one, so obviously this is something I've picked up before. I love these, and this was no exception. This was so much fun. I didn't realize some of the things that happened in this book happened so soon, so now I'm wondering, did I only get through like the first 10? Because a lot of things happen in the first like 5 or 6 books of this series apparently. But I really enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed the rest of them, and I'm looking forward to picking up the next one. I am gonna have to find 5 through 10 now, because I'm almost, or 6 through 10, because I only have 5 left, and I don't want to finish one and then not have another one to move on to. So yeah, I'm still baffled there's 54 in this series though. And then the last book that I finished was The Winter's Kiss by Marie Rakowski, and this is the 3rd one in a trilogy, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I just will say that it lived up to the other 2, and it was a great conclusion, and I still really love Kestrel, and I still really love Aaron, and I just felt like the situations they were in were really believable, and the relationships in this book are really sometimes hard to stomach and sometimes like really just wonderful, but all of that in a believable way that this is something that could really happen in a situation like this, and that was fantastic. I love all the strategy and just how strong of a character Kestrel is throughout the whole thing. She has her moments, but like overall she's just this wonderful female character that I think is lacking in a lot of YA books, so I really like Kestrel. I love Kestrel. So yes, this is a great conclusion, and if you haven't read the Winter's Crime? I can never remember Winter's Curse series, then definitely pick it up. I'm not going to tell you a whole bunch about what it's about because I feel like most people know, but yeah, I really like it. And then the last book that I didn't finish but that I started, which was definitely a genre that's outside of my comfort zone, was this collection of poems by Emily Dickinson. So this is something I've had on my shelf for 13 years, I think, because it actually has an inscription in it from my high school English teacher that's dated, so I've had this quite a long time and I've never actually picked it up. I read a few things through it, but I got about halfway through and I've been marking the pages with the poems that I like. So yeah, this has been an interesting read. Some of the poems I'm like, yeah, I don't even understand what this is about, and I think if I could have like an audiobook of this and listen to somebody read them to me, it would probably move faster, and also I would probably understand, because I feel like the cadence of poems is a huge part of the experience, and sometimes I feel like I just don't know what the cadence is supposed to be, so that can be a little frustrating. But for the most part, I'm really enjoying it. I have marked a lot of poems that I just really thought were lovely, and yeah, so I'm hoping to finish this week. So those are the books that I read during Genrethon. I would love to hear what you read, how many books you read, that kind of thing. And I'm looking forward to them doing this again. I know there's some talk of them doing it again in October, and that would be awesome. So yes, I had fun. Thanks ladies again for hosting this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!